You know, I said I wasn't going to mess with the suspension on this thing for a while, but here we are. I just can't leave things alone, can I? I'm sure you can relate. What's up, everybody? Welcome back to Mohawk Motors. My name is Jason. So today's video, I just got to get the stance right on this truck. It's, in my opinion, it's got way too much rake towards the front. And that's largely because the back of these things just sits up so high. And I want to try to do this as inexpensively as possible, because there's going to be substantial suspension upgrades in the future. So I don't want to do a bunch of stuff, spend a bunch of money that's going to get undone when I do that suspension work in the future. So I'm going to try a lowering shackle. It's the first time I've ever installed a lowering shackle. I bought a cheap pair on Amazon. I'll put a link in the description. If this goes well, you can get them too. If it goes poorly, then don't buy these. But and we're gonna see if it works. I read quite a few reviews. A lot of people said they had a lot of trouble getting it installed. I have a plan that I think will work. The truck is relatively rust-free underneath, so knock on wood, hopefully I'm not gonna have to deal with a bunch of seized bolts that won't come out. And hopefully by the end of this video, I'll have this truck sitting at a more of a level stance instead of a raked forward like a 70s muscle car stance. So let's get to it. So here's what we're working with. These are I believe 1 to 2 inch lowering shackles, 1 inch being this hole, 2 inch being this hole. I mean, they seem decent quality. Came with the bushings already installed. They are greasable, which is nice. And that's pretty much all that it comes with. The 2 shackles, the grease fittings in this box. Made in China, so I'm sure it's of the utmost quality. And the way these go is more or less remove and replace. So the rear of your leaf spring here on a GM truck, you can see that part that connects the leaf spring to the bracket is called the shackle. It's held in place with a bolt through the bracket and the shackle, and then at the top through the shackle through the leaf spring. Now, the trick to this is, I don't know if you can tell in the video here, but that bolt that runs through the shackle and through the leaf spring eye, there's no room to get it out of the shackle. It'll run into the frame over there. What I'm going to try to do here is jack the truck up, get jack stands under the frame, and then remove the lower shackle bolt, jack up the axle, and then hopefully maybe remove the upper shackle bolt by going between the bed and the frame through that gap over there. I'm gonna try it that way. I don't know if it's gonna work or not. Murphy's Law says it won't work, and I'm going to end up having to remove the leaf spring altogether from the truck. But one way to find out, right? Let's get started on this stuff. I'm going to hose everything down with some WD-40 first, just to hopefully prevent any damage to any of the bolts or anything. And then we'll start getting some bolts taken out. I'll bring you back once I've made a little progress. Okay, everybody, so I've got the lower shackle bolts out. You can see the leaf spring and shackle are more or less up against the bottom of the bed now, which I think is going to give me enough room to poke a socket and extension in from inside the frame rail to get that bolt out. I hope. I'm optimistic. I think it'll work. And I did drop the spare tire just to give myself a little bit more room to work under here. So I'm going to try and see if I can't get those upper shackle bolts out that go through the leaf spring. And then it'll just be a matter of putting it all back together. So let's see if this works.
Moments later.
All right, my idea worked. I got the shackle out on both sides. No damage, no harm. I wound up using just a deep well impact socket with a 4-inch extension poked in from the inside of the frame, and then just took them right out. It went smoother than I thought it would, which is nice. That almost never happens. So now I got to get it all put back together, and as per usual, douse everything with anti-seize, and we'll see if this gets the stance of this thing a little bit better. All right, team. Well, shockingly, so far everything is going to plan. I've got both sides, the shackles back in place, bolts through and nuts started onto the bolts. And he sees the poo out of everything, obviously. So now I'm just going to jack it back up, get the jack stands out of my way, and then sit it at ride height and get those bolts tightened back down. And I mean, that's going to be pretty much it to this install. I did notice that my spare tire is flat, so I'm probably going to swap another tire that holds air onto that wheel, and then that'll be it. I can't believe, knock on wood, but I can't believe everything's going as smoothly as it is. This never happens for me. Much better. The rear end's not sitting way up in the sky anymore. That's just about perfect. There's still just a very, very slight rake toward the front. That's what I was hoping for. About 2 inches seems to be just right on this thing. Now I did sit it on the ground before I tightened all the suspension bolts back up. I'll probably put a couple 100 miles on it and then go through, tighten them up again, make sure nothing came loose. And I also went ahead and put a tire on the spare that actually holds air. So if I ever need it, I won't be stranded. But there we go. Pretty quick and easy. Those shackles seem to be pretty decent quality. I think they were like 50 bucks, maybe 60 bucks. So I'm not going to complain for the price. They did exactly what they said they did. Installation was pretty easy. What time is it now? Yeah, I mean, it took me under an hour from putting chocks in front of the front wheels to back over here and looking at it on level ground. So there you go. Like I said, I'll put a link in the description for those shackles. If you want to do the same thing to your truck, I say go for it, give it a shot. And the way I did it seemed to work well. Unbolt the shackle from the bracket, lift the rear so you can unbolt the shackle from the leaf spring by putting your socket between the frame and the bed, and piece of cake, nothing to it. Thanks a lot for watching, everybody. I hope you enjoyed, and until the next video, take care.